बनाना है. So अगर ऑनलाइन यूज करना है, so simply what you need to do, go on any browser, search AstraDB. Okay, AstraDB you can search on Google. जैसे पहले लिंक मिले, you can click on that. Okay, so this is the website AstraDB wali. Okay, and you need to sign in. So you can sign in with your Google or the GitHub account as well. Will take a little bit time as well. So I already down my sign in is already done. So they automatically took my credentials, and you can see. So this is the like the home page of that AstraDB, and what are the services you're creating, you can able to see over here. Okay. So now AstraDB account is done. Once it is done, so now we need to go to the Langflow. Now, what is the Langflow and how can you access? So in your right side, you're getting the square box. From here, you need to click on that, and you can see here is the Langflow. So click on that. So it now opening. So Langflow, it is same like the any tool that help you to create the agentic tools. Okay, so today we will see how can we create the simple agentic tools in a Langflow. So now this is the home page of the Langflow. So from here you can create the project, and what are the project you created that you can access from here. So this all project I already created in the past, so that's why I'm able to see in my recent. Okay, so now we need to create the new one. So for that, what you need to do, uh, first we need to go on a home page. Okay, so now you need to click on this plus icon. You can see the create the new folder. Okay, ये कट करना पड़ेगा. Okay, so for the new project, what you need to do, you need to click on this new flow. You getting the button, the new flow. I need to minimize this one. You're getting the button of new flow. Click on here. Once you done, they will redirect on this page. So here you can create the basic prompt vector using React and simple agent. But now we are creating the simple agent. For that, you need to go with the blank flow. We are just creating from the scratch. So click on a blank flow. Once it is done, they will redirect you on this page. So this is your workspace where you are creating the agentic AI. Okay, and here is the all tools that you can add, and you can create the tool. So first, what are the project you are creating? So first we need to give the name. So for that, here the untitled document 2, you can double click on here and give the name whatever you want. In my condition, I'm giving the name as a basic basic agent. You can also give anything. Okay, and click anywhere in your workspace, and is automatically saved now. Okay, so now your project name is done. Now what you need to do, to today we'll creating the simple agent, like normally the input, the one model, and the output. That's it. So now we need the three things, that is input, model, and output. So how can you get that one? In your right side navigation bar, you can see the input. So click on this drop down arrow, and from here we are doing the chatting with the AI. Okay, we are not giving the only text input. We are giving doing the chatting. So that's why you need to select the this chat input. You can click on this plus icon. Else you can what can you do? Second thing, you can do the drag and drop option as well. Okay, so if you want to use the drag and drop, you can do. So now chat input is done. After that, what you need to do, the model and the output. So you can see here the second option, output. So from here also you can add the output. So I'm adding the output like this. Now input and output is done. Now we need to add the middle one, that is the one model. So what can you do now? So come from here to the model. So this is the model. Click on drop down once again, and from here you can getting the many models. Okay, from the different resources. So like DeepSeek, this is the Amazon, Azure, OpenAI, and the more on. So from now we are using the IBM one. Okay, we are creating the IBM. So for that, the IBM Watson you can see. So we need to use the IBM one. Okay, because I have the credential of IBM, so that's why I'm creating the IBM one. So now you can see I need to minimize this screen. Okay, I hope it's you are able to see this. So this is the input and this is the model, and now this is the output. Okay, so now we need to make the connection. How can you make the connection? You're getting this dots. So what you need to do, select the this dot, and using the drag and drop, you can make the easily connection over here. See the input, whatever the input we are sending, they're going to the that particular model as input, and after that they will process. This all things will configure later on. Okay, don't worry, I will explain each and everything in a detail. Now the output, so whatever the output generating by the model, that we will put as a output. So now our input and output connection is done. Now we need to configure only the model. So now for the model, what you need to do, first we need the Watson API endpoint, the Watson project ID, and the API key. Okay, and after that we can select the IBM model, and we can use the this agent. So now what we need to do, the next thing, that is we need to create. We need the project ID. This is a Watson project ID, the end API key, and the API endpoint, and the API key. So for that, we need to go on a IBM Cloud. Okay, so I need to go on IBM Cloud. So I'm going to the IBM Cloud now. Okay, and I'm logging with my credentials. Okay, so I'm logging with my credential here. Now they're verifying my credential. Okay, now this is the IBM Cloud. Okay. Now, if you want how to create the IBM Cloud account, then this is the all things that I will cover in a later on another video. So now we need to focus on our things. So this is the IBM Cloud platform. I log in with my credentials successfully. Now what you need to do, come to the search here, the Watson X. Okay, you need to search the Watson X, and here's the service Watson.ai Studio. Click on this, and once it is done, you need to create the service. Okay, so for that, what you need to do, you need to select the location and the free plan. That's it. Okay, so I'm default to going with the Sydney location, and that is the free tier. And after that, in the right side, check in this box and click on create. Now your service now creating here. It will take a couple of minutes. Okay, now I think it is done. Yeah, now the Watson AI Studio service is done. Now what you need to do, you need to click on this drop down arrow. Okay, and from here you need to select the IBM Watson. Okay, so click on IBM Watson. Why we are doing this? Because we need the project ID, and after that the API key. Okay, for this we are doing these things. Okay, so now cross this one, scroll up little bit and come to the project section, and here what you need to do, click on we need to create the new project. Okay, I will creating the new so you can understand better. So click on plus icon and create the new project. So I'm giving the name as a simple one agent, simple agent. Yeah, simple agent. Okay, and description, that is the optional one. So if you want to add, you can add. Tag also optional, and we need to create the storage here. So how can you create? So for that, click on add. Okay, and from here you go with the free plan and light plan. So the second one, and the create the storage. So why we creating? Because we need to store our project somewhere. So that's why we need the storage. So go with the free plan. Okay, once it is done, now only what you need to do, click on a refresh, and they will select automatically what are the project storage you created. Once it is done, now you can see the create button. So click on this, and now our project now creating here. Okay, it will take little bit time based on the internet. Okay, now all things done. You can see the project under that project simple agent, that is the project name. So now what you need to do, you can see here the overview, asset, jobs, and the manage. Click on manage, and after that come to the services and integration. And here we need to also associate the service. Okay, we need to associate the service with for our project. Now what is it? So first you need to click on associate service, and here we need to give the processor. Okay, we can say the runtime. So we need to give the runtime to our project. So for that, you can click on that where you need to click on a new service, and from here, click on a version runtime. And after that, you need to create the runtime. Okay. So default location, we are going with the Sydney, and the free type plan. Click on create. Okay. Now it's done. Once it is done, click on check-in and mark as a associate. So we are associating the particular service to our project. Okay. So now once it is done, go to the general, and now here is the project ID. You can see this is the project ID that we want. Okay, so copy this project ID if you want, and you can paste somewhere if you want for the future work. Now I'm not adding anywhere. Only copy and come to the Langflow. So I'm coming to Langflow, and here you can see the project ID. So now you can paste over here. Okay, simply paste here. Now we need the version API endpoint. So now what is the endpoint? So come out once again in your the project tab. So here you can see the where we are creating this project in a Sydney location. Okay, whenever we are creating the, we selected the location as Sydney, and you can see in our right top corner the location as well, the Sydney, because whatever the resources we created in a Sydney. So that's why our endpoint API endpoint, that is the Sydney. If we are creating in a US, UK, so based on that our endpoint like the UK, UK, US. But now we are creating in a Sydney, so that's why our endpoint location is the Sydney. So come back over here and choose the location as a Sydney. So for the Sydney, you can see the SYD. So select the this one, and now we need only the endpoint API key. Now how can you get the API key? So now you need to come to the service detail wala page. Okay, so come here, and what you need to do, click on manage, go to the access IAM. We need to create the one API key for our project. So we creating that one. Okay. So once you coming in a access page, you are getting right side API key. Click on this. And okay, so see right now we don't have any API key. So click on a create to create the API key. Give the name API key simple agent like that. Randomly you can give the any name. Okay. Discretion, that is optional one. Linked action, that you need to put as a nothing, and the enable the session manage for the CLI logins. So put as a yes and click on a create. Once it is done, you can see our API key successfully created. Now copy this one, go to the Langflow once again and paste in a API key. Okay, once it is done, now you are able to see the models. Okay, now you're able to see the manage models. Select any model from here. So I'm selecting the first one, and now once now your whole simple agent is ready to work. Okay, now because we're done with the all process, so now our model is run ready to test. So before the starting testing the model, we need to test the configuration. Okay, so how can you test this all configuration or working properly or not? So for that, in your right top corner, you're getting the run component. Click on this. Now you can see the building is starting the building. Okay, running the component, everything. You can see this is the arrow. Now they are processing, and now you can see our Watson AI built successfully. Means whatever we did, that is the working properly. Once it is done, now the testing point timing coming now. So for that, click on a playground, and here you need to test our model. So I'm giving the prompt as a like normally, give me 1 month gym plan. Gym plan. and we'll see the output. Okay, so I'm giving the prompt as a give me 1 month gym plan, and I'm sending. Okay, we'll see whatever the output they are giving. So now they are generating. We need to wait for a couple of seconds. It will not work. Okay, it will work. See. So now they're giving me the all things like the 1 month gym plan. First and second week you need to make the foundation of building bodybuilding and other things. They're giving the process, the pull-ups and everything in a proper manner. As you can see, the everything is going. They're giving in a proper manners. If sometimes if not working over here, so what can you do? You need to create the new chat, okay, and you can do chat over here. So now I hope that everything is clear how to create the simple agent on a Langflow. So thank you guys.